What if I told you that the person sitting across from you in your next business meeting isn't actually there? Not a screen, not a phone call, a full three-dimensional version of a human being projected right into your living room, your office, your kitchen, and they can see you just as clearly. This isn't science fiction anymore. This is happening right now, and most people have absolutely no idea. Here's what nobody is talking about openly. The way we communicate is about to experience the most violent disruption in human history. More disruptive than the telephone, more transformative than the internet. We are standing at the edge of a world where physical presence becomes optional, and the line between being there and being here completely disappears. Let's start with something real. In 2022, ABBA performed live in London, except the four members of ABBA hadn't stepped on stage together in over 40 years. What audiences watched were photorealistic digital versions of themselves, called avatars, created using volumetric capture technology that recorded every micro-expression, every movement, every emotional nuance of their physical bodies and translated it into a living, breathing digital human. Over 90,000 people attended those shows. The audience cried real tears watching something that technically didn't exist physically. That moment changed everything for researchers, engineers, and communication scientists worldwide. Now here's where it gets controversial, and I need you to stay with me because this challenges everything you believe about human connection. Neuroscientists from the University of Barcelona conducted a study where participants interacted with digital human avatars inside virtual environments. The results were staggering. The human brain responded to those digital figures with almost identical emotional and social responses as it did to actual human beings. Your brain, the most sophisticated biological computer ever created, cannot consistently distinguish between a real human presence and a convincingly rendered digital one. That's not an opinion. That's published neuroscience. So what does this mean for how we live? According to a 2023 report by McKinsey Global Institute, businesses lose approximately $37 billion every single year due to ineffective communication and unnecessary travel for meetings. Airlines, hotels, and transportation collectively profit from the simple fact that humans need to be in the same room to feel like something real happened. But companies like Microsoft, Meta, and a firm called ARHD Media are actively dismantling that requirement right now. ARHD Media has already deployed what they call holopresence technology, where executives and speakers are captured in one city and beamed as life-size holograms into a completely different physical room in real time, with zero perceptible delay. The United Nations has used this technology. Medical conferences have used this. A surgeon in one country has guided a procedure in another country using holographic presence technology. A surgeon guiding life or death decisions through a hologram. Let that actually land in your mind for a moment. And here's the part that most technology commentators are completely ignoring because it makes people uncomfortable. Digital humans, meaning fully AI-generated human figures, are advancing at a rate that defies comfortable conversation. NVIDIA's Omniverse platform and a company called Soul Machines have created digital humans that don't just look real. They respond in real time to emotional cues, tone of voice, and facial expressions. They adapt. They remember. Soul Machines has already deployed digital human customer service representatives for major banks and healthcare providers across multiple countries, and in blind tests, a significant percentage of users believe they were speaking to real people. Here's where the controversy gets sharp, and I want you to think critically. If your brain cannot consistently tell the difference, if your emotions respond the same way, if business gets done, if medical help is delivered, if education is received, does physical presence retain its irreplaceable value? Or have we been placing sentimental weight on something that biology is now telling us is partly an illusion? Before you dismiss this, consider what happened with video calling. In 2005, telling someone that millions of people would prefer to have their most intimate conversations through a small glass screen rather than face-to-face would have sounded absurd. Today, couples maintain long-distance relationships through screens. Grandparents watch grandchildren grow up through screens. We normalize something that previous generations would have found emotionally inadequate, and we adapted completely. The technology roadmap for holographic communication is extraordinarily specific right now. Samsung and LG are both developing transparent display panels designed to enable what engineers are calling ghost presence, a mode where a holographic projection overlays your actual environment seamlessly. 5G and the expanding 6G research pipeline are being built with exactly this bandwidth requirement in mind. By 2030, projections from the International Data Corporation suggest the extended reality market, which includes holographic communication, will exceed $1.5 trillion globally. Here is the truth that nobody selling you nostalgia wants you to hear. Every single generation has mourned what communication technology was replacing while simultaneously adopting the replacement faster than they predicted. Letters to telegrams, telegrams to telephones, telephones to email, email to video, video to holographic presence. The pattern does not lie. But here is also the truth that the pure technologists don't want to admit. Touch remains the final frontier. The handshake, the embrace, the physical weight of another human being's presence. No hologram transmits that yet. And it is precisely that gap that will define the next decade of human communication research. The question isn't whether this technology will reshape how humans meet, work, grieve, celebrate, and connect. It already is. The question is whether we will shape it with intention and ethics, or simply let it happen to us the way every previous communication revolution has happened to generations that weren't paying attention. So I need to ask you directly, and I want your honest answer in the comments below. If a hologram of someone you love could stand in your room, look you in the eyes, and respond to you in real time, would that feel like enough? Or is there something about physical presence that you believe no technology should ever be allowed to replace? Follow for more content that challenges what you think you already understand about the world being built around you right now.